好的，
好，就按下手上。
咱们按下。
Watch out. I have online meeting. Online
Yeah.
meeting. Online meeting.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? I see some smiles on the screen. I hope you all are having the loveliest day and staying positive throughout this difficult time of COVID-19 pandemic. Hi, once again. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Emira Anjani. I'm a member of the Indonesian Youth Foundation in the Social Media and Content Creator Division. I'm welcoming everyone to the opening ceremony of the Bali International Student Festival. I will be your MC and moderator for today. Before we begin, I kindly ask everyone to keep your microphone muted so that we don't interrupt any speakers and guests in today's ceremony. Now, the first agenda of the day, let's pay our respect as we play the Indonesian national anthem to open the show. This video will be followed by the Indonesian culture and heritage video. Thank you, IT.
Thank you.
Here we are
at the time when practicing a new way of life is the key to today's travels. As one of the world's most favorite destinations, Bali has implemented a new protocol to welcome you once again, while continuing to prioritize your health and safety right from the very beginning of your arrival. From regular disinfectant procedures to enforcing safe physical distancing and temperature checking, those who wish to enter Bali need to show a negative swab test result and download the electronic health card application form from the App Store or Play Store. Sign up, then log in and fill in the forms. Submit your data and get a QR code to be scanned by the officer of the Ministry of Health. Efforts in minimizing direct contact are being exercised by maximizing various digital and online services at the immigration check, baggage claim area, and all the way to your exit. Pickup and transportation services are in line with the new standard of operation. Your hotel in Bali is also committed to extend its new protocols and procedures. Your baggage will be disinfected as you arrive. Temperature check and check-in process will be done contact with the staff. The staff is committed to providing immaculate cleanliness and uncompromising hygiene, and also making sure you are equipped with the essentials needed, going the extra mile to keep you safe and comfortable. Hotels also follow the same new procedures in all areas of its guests' facilities, such as the swimming pool. Involving local authorities to build an even safer environment in public areas, like the beaches. New protocols are also being practiced for your dining experience, whilst ensuring a hospitable ambience and service. On top of it all, Bali is establishing the readiness of all health services and hospitals on the island, not just for tourism, but for all aspects in everyday life. Simply because, for the Island of Gods, the well-being of humans, nature, and all of its existence is our utmost priority. Bali's new era awaits your new travel story. We are reachable online and on these helplines.
Okay, thank you so much, IT. Now, all right, let's go ahead and invite our first speaker, Miss Anne Risky, the project leader of BISF, to the stage to share some welcoming remarks. You may have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Mira. Good afternoon from Indonesia. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Anne Risky. Me and Mrs. Fellis here are the chief committees for the Bali International Student Festival 2021. First, I would like to express my sincerest appreciation to the Indonesia Youth Foundation team, who also become the committee of Bali International Student Festival, to spend most of their times on this great event by volunteering. This event will not become this huge without all the members here. And I would like to welcome you all to the Bali International Student Festival 2021. We are pleased to have you all as the selected delegates, and it is much enthusiasm we have you here after we already screening all the application. And congratulations once again that you have all been chosen to be a part of our International Student Festival 2021. The Bali International Student Festival itself is the first annual Indonesian virtual student festival that will conduct online for several days, discussing the importance of our involvement and evaluating the effect of each of us as a global citizen of the global society regarding the post-pandemic world that we face today. The aim of this festival is to create a platform where all the students can cooperate and interact and exchange their ideas, voices to their perspective in cultural to social connection in online activities. Your passion and motivation to help or in this crucial time of the post-pandemic era will help us all to unite and be here together to share idea, voices, and also perspective. And well, I don't want to take much of your time in the next exciting session, but today it will be fun and full of learning. So a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Anne. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Fauzi Wahyu Zamzami, the Indonesian Youth Foundation's founder and president, to also share a short opening speech. You may have the floor.
Thank you so much, Ms. Emira. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang, good afternoon, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Dear delegates, welcome to Bali International Student Festival 2021. First of all, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Ms. Anak Agumia as our speaker for today and 6 other speakers for tomorrow, including Mr. Desgia, Mr. Iswan, Ms. Fato, Mr. Umer, Mr. Iketut, and Mr. Drup. Second, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the entire committee of the Bali International Student Festival, as well as the member of the Indonesia Youth Foundation for organizing this event as well as possible. The third, I congratulate all delegates who have passed the selections for this event. You are the chosen people for your country, and hopefully you can have a good impact on the relations between Indonesia and your country. Let me introduce myself. I am Fauzi Wahyu Zamzami, a founder and president of Indonesia Youth Foundations. 2020 was a very challenging year for everyone, including us as a young people. At that very challenging year, the Indonesia Youth Foundation was born with the aim of bridging friendship between Indonesian youth and international communities. Since 2020, we have successfully organized various international and national events, including the Indonesia-Korea Youth Friendship Forum, National Youth Forum on Public Diplomacy, singing and portrait competitions, Indonesian language course for foreigners, and others. All the forums that we organized was an opportunity for us as a youth to share how to deal with the pandemic in each country, as well as our struggle as a youth. In addition, the interest of foreigners to learn Indonesian language and cultures make us interested to create free courses. Therefore, the Indonesian language course for foreigner has been attended by more than 150 students from more than 30 countries in this world. Likewise, with Bali International Student Festival, we feel that Bali is an island and a city that has become an important icon for Indonesia. That's why we want to gather many young people from many countries to get to know Bali and share stories and ideas in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Previously, we decided to make this event physically, but due to the increasingly severe pandemic conditions, we finally decided to make it virtual. So I hope this event can be run offline so you can experience Bali and Indonesia on the first hand, starting from culture, language, tourist attractions, and so on. Hopefully next year, we wish. Finally, what are you waiting for? Break a leg, and I hope you enjoy this forum. We, as the organizer, hope for criticism and suggestions from all of you so that this forum will be better in the future. So thank you so much. Terima kasih, matur sukma, and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Fauzi. Now, for one of the main agenda of the day, may I invite our first honorable speaker, Miss Anak Agung Mia Intentilia. Hi, Miss. Are you here?
Hi Amira. Hi everyone.
Hi, Miss. How are you, Miss?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Where are you currently? Are you in Bali?
I am in Bali right now. Cannot go anywhere due to pandemic. So enjoying my time here in Bali.
Right. Could you tell us maybe just a little bit? How's the condition in Bali right now?
It's relatively empty because no tourists. Usually I can go to the beach and see a lot of people from many countries, but right now it's quite empty because there's no tourism activities and we have to go everywhere wearing masks and also following health protocol. But I'm sure it's not only my experience, but everyone has their own experience in this COVID-19 pandemic situation.
Right. It's very unfortunate, yeah, to see that Bali is empty, considering that like it's basically never empty in the past, right? Well, now before we go ahead to your presentation, may I give the participant a little bit introduction of you. Miss Mia is a lecturer and head of the ASEAN and International Studies Center at the Universitas Pendidikan Nasional Bali. She pursued and gained her bachelor degree from political science at Udayana University, Bali in 2019, and Master of International Relations and International Organization at the Rijksuniversiteit Groningen, Netherlands in 2017. I apologize if I butchered that word. And amongst that, she is also the co-founder of Surya Intentilia Learning Center and has received countless achievements as well as writings in the field of political science, international relations, political communication, and public diplomacy. Now, there will be a Q&A session after, so please gather your questions and leave them on the chat box, or you can also use the raise hand feature later on to ask Ms. Mia personally later. But don't forget to insert your name and origin before your question. Now, without further ado, may I welcome Ms. Mia Intentilia. You may have the floor, Miss.
Thank you so much, Amira, for the very kind introduction. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Bali. I feel so honored to be here to be invited as a speaker by Indonesia Youth Foundation in this very exciting event, Bali International Student Festival 2021. It's really nice to see you guys here, even though it's just virtually. But I'm happy to welcome you to this event. I'm happy to welcome you all to Bali virtually. And I would really like to know you. So the first part of my presentation is introduction. You can call me Mia. Anak Agung is actually part of my Balinese name. So my name is actually Nia Infantilia. You guys can call me Nia. And I would like to hear from you guys as well, because I heard from the committee that the participants of this program is currently from over 50 countries. So I would love to know you. I would love to know your name and also where are you from? Could you please type on a chat box your nickname and also your country so we can know each other, just a nickname and also your country. So I can see where you guys are from and I can see where you guys are right now, because we are all in different part of the world, but we can gather together in this very interesting opportunity with intriguing topic actually about post-pandemic world. So a big appreciation to Indonesia Youth Foundation and all the committee of Bali International Student Festival 2021 for organizing this event. I would like also to greet all speakers from the panel session later or tomorrow and next 2 days. You guys are going to have a lot of great discussion in this event. Allow me to share a brief presentation that I've prepared for my session today. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see my presentation? I hope so. Okay, from India, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, from Yemen, wow, from Vietnam, from Malaysia, lots of people. Okay, there are some people also currently live in Bali. Hi, thank you so much from West Java, lots of people from different part of the world. And this is your opportunity to gain network, to find new friends, to share your culture, to share your ideas, your thought, your perspectives over various issues, and to learn also from other friends, learn from other participants. Maybe they experience different things, maybe they have different stories, and this is a great opportunity for everyone, even though we cannot meet in person, but I'm sure that you guys can seize this opportunity and you guys can actually still make friends, even though it's only within a virtual world. But you know, as young people, we have to adapt. As young people, we need to find something. We need to find solution. And then from that solution, we share with each other, and then we criticize each other. We give each other suggestion, and therefore we can come up with new things. All right, so talking about post-pandemic world, Amira has introduced me earlier a little bit. My name is Nia. I graduated from Udayana University in Bali, also from University of Groningen in the Netherlands. My major is international relations, particularly international relations and international organization. So what I'm going to talk about is actually very related to the perspective of international relations. Currently, I'm a lecturer, a junior lecturer. I'm also the head of ASEAN and International Study Center at Universitas Pendidikan Nasional, or Undipnas, here in Bali. I'm also a presenter, a TV presenter of Bali TV, a professional MC, and also public speaker. I'm the co-founder of Surya Infantilia Learning Center and Surya Infantilia Youth Network, and I was also the ASEAN Youth Ambassador from Bali Province in 2017. So, welcome to Bali virtually. I'm showing you guys this picture so you can, get the vibes a little bit, even though you are sitting in your room right now, alone maybe, or with your family. But I do hope that you can get a little bit of Balinese vibes over the beach and also the fantastic nature that we have in Bali. And hopefully, like what Fauzi said previously, that we can welcome you soon in Bali in person, and we can have or organize this event in person, and we can see each other in person. Talking about Bali, obviously, we are going to talk about nature. We are going to talk about the culture, tourism, and hospitality. I'm sure maybe some of you, if not all of you, actually already have Bali in your bucket list, in your traveling destination or anything. Or have you guys been to Bali? I met a lot of people in many international programs, and every time I said that I am from Bali, their response gonna be, oh, I've been to Bali once, twice, or 3 times, or 5 times, because Bali is very famous as one of the best tourism destinations in the world. And currently, obviously, what I like and what I love from Bali is obviously its nature, the culture. Because when you talk about Bali, it is not only about going to the beach, but also about interacting with the people, with the culture of the people, and how Balinese people can actually preserve their custom and tradition, and also to socialize it, not only with Balinese people, but also with the world. And of course, with a lot of tourism destination and also tourism facilities and the hospitality of Balinese people, it is making Bali even more famous in the world. There are a lot of tourism destination as well in Indonesia. So if you want to explore more about Indonesia, it is not limited to Bali, but there are also other tourism destinations in Indonesia. So you guys should check that out. If you have free time, if you don't know what to do, you can Google it. You can Google a lot of tourism destination in Bali and also in other places in Indonesia. Talking about post-pandemic world and talking about Bali International Student Festival, I myself, I am a Balinese. I was born in Bali and raised in Bali. So my experience as a Balinese is very special. This is my picture wearing Balinese traditional clothes. And I'm actually very happy to share my culture to all of you. And whenever I go to other places in Indonesia or other places in other countries, then people will be very intrigued. People will be very interested in talking about Bali with me, talking about the culture, the experience and everything. So I'm very proud to be Balinese, and I'm very proud to share the culture with you guys. And I would love also to hear from you, to hear about your culture, to hear about your unique tradition. Obviously, when talking about COVID-19 pandemic, currently it is a very challenging time and a very challenging situation. And I'm sure one of the panels that you have in Bali International Student Festival will talk about tourism sector in detail. So I'm not going to go into that in detail. But right now, what I can see, what I can feel, and what I can experience is that the tourism sector has been significantly impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. And we hope that we can recover eventually. But right now, it is a very hard situation for Balinese people. But I do hope that Bali can recover and the tourism sector can be better later after we solve the COVID-19 pandemic. That's a little bit about Bali. And as I said previously, this is not only a one-way interaction. I do hope to hear your thought as well. So because this is a student event, a lot of young people, I'm sure you guys are on Instagram. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts, your idea, your insight from this webinar. What do you get from this webinar? Or what is your expectation to Bali International Student Festival 2021? Or any ideas or any suggestion to the committee or to everything to improve this event to be better, please share your thoughts on Instagram story. And you can tag me. This is my Instagram account at Agumnia. And you can also tag the committee from Indonesia Youth Foundation, or you can also tag the Instagram account for this event, BISF 2021. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your perspective on this. All right, that's a little bit of the introduction. And talking about post-pandemic world, let's talk about the COVID-19 pandemic itself first. What has changed? I would love to hear from you. Please share your perspectives on the chat box. What has changed during this COVID-19 pandemic? Let me know what has changed in your life. Obviously, a lot of things has changed in our life. And if you see it from various perspective or even from student perspective, at least our learning process has changed. Social interaction, traveling hobby, education system, work or study from home, health, education, lifestyle, self-reflection. Lots of you are saying that on chat box. I also experienced it myself. I also experienced the differences, the changes that we all have, human connection, entertainment process, education system. I'm a lecturer, So usually before the pandemic, I see my student and we can have in-person interaction and discussion. But right now we are all in our house, in our room maybe, and then we have to do everything virtually. Sometimes that's confusing, sometimes they're very challenging, lots of things. And one of you also wrote importance of mental health, family, and self-reflection. And I'm sure that's also one of the topic of the panel discussion. So you guys are going to talk about that as well. Things that I would like to emphasize today in this opportunity is our new digital habits. Everything is possible that we can do all of this because we are actively involved in social media, digital connection with Zoom, with everything. And talking about COVID-19 pandemic, actually it raised up a point of talking about digital habit. And all of the panels, all of the themes of the panels, digital economy, tourism and culture, youth empowerment, education, mental health, and technology are all connected to this new digital habits. You can talk about economic activities and how digitalization actually affect that, tourism and culture as well, youth empowerment, education, mental health. How is it that staying in front of your laptop or your phone 20 hours a day or 15 hours a day will affect your mental health? That's also a thing that we need to discuss. And technology, obviously, digitalization and technology. But for now, for my session today, this grand webinar of post-pandemic world, I'm not going to explain all of the theme of the panels, but I'm going to give you a brief explanation. What are we going to do in the post-pandemic world? And as I mentioned previously, I'm a student of international relations. So my explanation would be based from international relations perspective. I'm going to talk today about multi-track diplomacy. What is multi-track diplomacy and what is the connection with the post-pandemic world? So multi-track diplomacy is a conceptual way. It is brought actually in 1985 at the beginning with track 2 diplomacy and then expanded into 5 tracks. And then in 1991, Ambassador McDonnell and Dr. Diamond wrote multi-track diplomacy as an approach to peace. So it actually an interconnected activities with individuals, institutions, government, communities actually work together. So that's what I'm going to bring. That's what I'm going to explain today about the multi-track diplomacy. How all of these tracks, all of these 9 tracks actually have the correlation with the post-pandemic world, because this pandemic, we are facing disruption and also changes. Let me explain one by one. Talking about multi-track diplomacy and post-pandemic world, my core idea in this webinar is actually I would like to highlight the importance of cooperation of state actors or government and also non-state actors or public in general. So the first one is talking about the government. The first track is talking about government. Do you think that the government actually play important role during the pandemic and also post-pandemic world? Obviously, the answer is yes, because the government are the one and the institution related to the government actually can make policies, and their policies will impact us as the citizen. So it is very important to have cooperation, coordination, collaboration between the government and non-state actors or public in general. So government in terms of multi-track diplomacy, actually talking about official diplomacy. For instance, in Indonesia, I can share with you guys that our Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ibu Retno Marsudi, Minister Retno Marsudi, actually is very active in engaging in terms of vaccine diplomacy and also maintaining peace during the pandemic. So in government point of view, bilateral, multilateral cooperation with other countries, with international organizations is actually very, very crucial. And post-pandemic world, later, this kind of cooperation among states, this kind of cooperation, be it bilateral or multilateral cooperation, or cooperation with other countries and other international organizations, should be maintained and strengthened so that we can see that government level, in national, regional, international level, government can cooperate to one another to talk about the current policies, to talk about the current condition during the pandemic and also post-pandemic world. The second track is non-government. In this case, is a professional. I can share with you an example. Things that is that I'm working closely with is that what we call as mediator. So in post-pandemic world, and even during the pandemic, there are a lot of problems and conflicts emerge, misunderstanding, problems, and everything. And as a non-government perspective, in this case, is professional, we can see, or we can actually recommend lots of mediation, negotiation to actually analyze, prevent, or to manage conflict. So for instance, there are a lot of certified mediators to handle problems and to try to find solution with conflicted parties. In the case of pandemic and post-pandemic world, we can see a lot of problems, such as, for instance, a family mediation, or should there be any problem between patient and hospital management, then we can actually propose mediation as a thing that we can do. The third track is business sector. So government and private sector have to work together in supporting business climate during the COVID-19 pandemic and post-pandemic world, because we need to ensure the economic opportunities. We need to ensure that there are a lot of business sectors that are able to provide job fields for the people. And post-pandemic world, this is what we need to think on how to ensure job fields for people, on how to ensure employment's rights, and how to keep on adjusting with health protocol, as well as the development of digital economy. And you guys are going to talk more about digital economy in your panel, but this is also important. So government, professional, and also business sector, they are important. Private sector, they are important because they support the economic growth and economic opportunities. A lot of people need jobs in order to survive, in order to fulfill their daily needs. So business is also an important track in this multi-track diplomacy. Track 4, private citizens, including all of us, including young people, including the youth, because the involvement of private citizens is about personal involvement. So how can we participate, or how can we actually, give something to the society, or give something to people or to your community? You can participate in citizen-led action by helping your smallest level of community. I'm sure that in this situation, it's actually for us impossible to change a lot of things, but to help each other from the small level of the community, it's actually important. There are a lot of initiatives that I can see as an example. For instance, here in Bali, we have the village system, and we help each other within that small scale of the village system. And a lot of other initiatives, for instance, in Indonesia, we have a website where people try to provide important hotline and also important contacts. So when you feel that you are confused or you are overwhelmed by a lot of information, you can go to that website and check for important contacts and important hotline. So personal involvement is also important. Track number 5 is research, training, and education. Post-pandemic world, obviously, we have to support the research collaboration regarding COVID-19 pandemic and also its social impact. Academics can provide recommendation for the government policies in the context of providing research uh, result and also presenting the result of the research collaboration. And in talking about education, obviously we are going to talk about digital classroom and how to ensure education access and how to solve the current problem of digital divide. So post-pandemic world, we are going to still answer these problems and provide recommendation from the research result that we have. And I do believe that encouraging research collaboration is actually very important in this situation. Track number six is activism through advocacy. I've seen a lot of initiative, student activism, and also advocacy, student bodies, and also organizations talking about human rights, talking about education access, social and economic justice. And in post-pandemic world, obviously, activism based on critical thinking is necessary in order to assess current issues, and students have important role here. And during the pandemic, we've seen because of the travel restriction and a lot of health protocol, people, especially students, start to actually move towards digital advocacy or digital activism. Track number 7 is religion. Part of it is actually to have religious or spiritual communities or faith groups. For instance, in Indonesia, we have support to religious communities in mitigating the COVID-19 impact. And in post-pandemic world, I do believe that interfaith dialogue, interfaith collaboration is actually important to generate mutual understanding and also cooperation. The situation is different in every country. Yes, obviously, it's different in every country. And I'm sharing from the perspective of Indonesia that here, religious and spiritual communities actually play an important role in socializing information to people and also to generate mutual understanding. Track number 8 is funding. In post-pandemic world, I do believe that funding, donor, foundation, individual philanthropists, or even crowdfunding mechanism with fundraising platform is important to actually bring up some issues, important issue, and get the attention from people. In Indonesia, for instance, we have a famous fundraising called kita.com, and there a crowdfunding mechanism actually is quite famous here, and it can give specific targets such as providing safety kit or helping health workers or patients in remote areas. But with digital fundraising platform, actually we can actually participate and contribute in terms of doing some initiative post-pandemic world. And the last one, track number 9, is media, and how it is important to filter information on media. Especially during the pandemic, we see a lot of misinformation, fake news. And in post-pandemic world, it's important for us to use social media wisely and to filter information on media. That's the 9 track that I'm going to explain briefly today because I only have 30 minutes. And the last part of my presentation is post-pandemic world, what's next for us? I came across this initiative from Harvard saying that there are 3R initiative. You guys can also check it in Harvard website. And I think I'm going to share it with you today. Its 3R consists of resilience, recovery, and also renewal. Resilience means that all of us, we have actually this ability to recover quickly from difficulties. So we all face difficulties right now, right? Challenges, changes, difficult situation. But how can we recover from all of those difficulties? How can we have this flexibility and we can adjust to changes? That's very important, to be resilient, to have this kind of concept, be it physical strength and also mental flexibility. The second one is recovery, to regain our productivity, to process everything, and to actually try new approach, new techniques, new standard in order to have our productivity back. So if we cannot do it the way we used to do it, then what can we do now? What kind of approach we should try? And the last one is renewal. I'm sure that young people, we can stay optimistic. Therefore, we can emerge stronger, because right now, this is the situation that we are dealing with, and we are looking forward to see the post-pandemic world to emerge stronger together. So those are the 3R: resilience, recovery, and renewal, that I came across from the Harvard website. You guys can check it out later. Well, that's the end of my presentation. Matur suksma, it's Balinese word for thank you, or in short, you can just say suksma. It's just like thanks. So that's two Balinese words are learning right now. I thank you guys so much. I thank the committee for inviting me. I hope we can stay in touch. You can message me on Instagram or my email. This is my email, and we can have a discussion, further discussion. And because I'm the head of ASEAN International Study Center at Universitas Pendidikan Nasional, I'm also conducting lots of events similar to this one, and also initiative that actually involves a lot of international relations issues. And I would love to connect with you guys. And obviously, I would love to see you guys in Bali, hopefully soon, to see a beautiful sunset, obviously to have academic talks, or just to have, a small chat. I would love to stay in touch with you. Thank you very much once again for inviting me as a speaker here in Bali International Student Festival 2021. And I wish you guys all the best for your panel discussion. Thank you very much, Matur Suksma.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Mia, for the very insightful presentation. We will now have about 30 minutes Q&A session. As I said earlier, you may ask your question on the chat box or use the raise hand feature to personally ask your question. But don't forget to enter your name, your origin, and then your question. Okay, let's see.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought I have 10 minutes for Q&A until 5.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
I thought we only have 10 minutes for Q&A until 5 p.m. Bali time.
Oh, based on our rundown, it says that we have around 30 minutes. Is that correct? Hold on, let me ask some of the committee. All right, I've just been informed that we have until 4:15.
We can start
4:15 or 5:15
Okay.
Bali time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let me just scroll up on the chat box. All right, here we have one question from Usama Nasir from Pakistan. The question is the recovery really important during the education process?
Okay, can I answer it right away?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello there in Pakistan. Thank you for your question. Your question is, do I think that recovery is important, especially in education? I think yes, because when I talk about recovery previously on my slide, I'm actually talking about how we can try to regain our productivity, how we can adjust with the new norm, and how we can try new techniques, new point of view in including in education aspect or education sector. Because right now, I'm sure that all of you face difficulties in this new learning process, online learning process, because my students, they told me and they shared to me their difficulties. So what I told them is that even though we are all facing difficulties, we can try new method. For instance, if it's difficult for you to read everything on screen because you have to see your lecture on screen and then you have to read everything on screen, you can try it other way. You can try to relax your mind by listening to audiobooks, for instance, instead of reading it because you maybe feel tired of looking at your screen all the time, the whole day. So try a new approach in this case. And in terms of education, obviously everyone has their own style, right? Maybe some of you like to learn something by watching YouTube. Some of you like to read it. Some of you like to discuss it with your friends. But because of all of the limitation during the COVID-19 pandemic, I think it's very necessary to adjust your way, to adjust your approach. If you cannot go to your friend's house like you used to do and discuss with them, then how can you adjust with new approach? Can you maybe create group like study group with Zoom, or can you do it in other way? Try new approach. That way you can try to regain your productivity. Maybe one way works, another way doesn't work for you. It's okay. Try again. And one thing I would like to share with you guys as well is it is not only the student that face difficulties with this online learning process. I'm a lecturer. I also face a lot of difficulties. To turn on their camera, nobody turned on the camera, so I have to talk for an hour with by seeing only the pictures without really seeing your face and without seeing your expression. See, so it is not only from the student point of view, but it is also from lecturer point of view. So I try my new approach. I try to interact with my students differently. I try to give them schedule. I try to give them small points to discuss, and then student will actively engage during the class. Not only me talking for 2 hours without any response. So recovery is important in education. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Mia. Now, if I looked at the participant, it seems that we have quite a lot of people who already raised their hand. I'm just gonna call our first one, Lely Anggita. Please open your camera and your mic and ask Miss Mia your question.
Okay, thank you for the chance. Hello, everyone. I'm Lely Anggita from Indonesia, and I'm from Youth Empowerment Division. As what Ms. Mia told before, that we have to about the government and non-government side in the post-pandemic world. As we no, I mean like as I believe that between the government and the non-government side. We call as a society, we believe that it is now getting trust issues because some kind of media told about the news about the hoax. So my question itself that how we build the trusting of the society itself to the government instead of to making the post-pandemic world being as good as well as we want to have the government and the non-government side is being well. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear for me.
Thank you.
Amira, can I answer it?
Yes, for sure, Miss.
Okay. Lely Anggita, thank you so much for a very intriguing question. Your question is how to actually build trust between government and non-government actors.
Yes.
So for a society, for people, for citizens like us, sometimes we don't trust our government because of a lot of issues and a lot of news that we consume, or a lot of news that we actually read, then we kind of question our own. Actually, in my opinion, both sides, the government side and also from the people side, need to work together. From the government side, they need to prove that they can provide transparencies in their policies, in their funding or budgeting system, in every policy that they are taking. So transparencies from the government side, that's important from my point of view. And from the citizens or from the general public, it's important for us to also criticize and to question and also to use our critical thinking to see all of those policies. If we want to question something, if we want to give suggestion, if we want to criticize something, we can do it. So it's important for the people also to use their critical thinking to see the current issues, to see the current policies, and how to give recommendation, how to give solution from the perspective of the citizen or of the general public. So both sides needs to work together. From the government side, they need to provide transparency. From the general public, they need to use their critical thinking to question, but not only to question or to criticize, but also to provide solution and also recommendation. I think that in that way, both sides can actually cooperate with one another. But Lely also brought an important point about fake news. Sometimes this kind of distrust happen because of the fake news, because we don't really know what is going on and we don't really get the information from like valid sources, but we just read it and trust it 100% and share it, and people will share it to other people, hence we share fake news, for instance. That's also one of the biggest challenges that we are facing today, because during the pandemic we are not only facing this pandemic, but we are also facing the so-called infodemic, which means that we are also fighting the fake news, the hoax, right? Sometimes for us, it's actually when we read information without actually seeing the source of it and without actually verify it and share it to other people, it's dangerous. So my suggestion to you guys all is that whenever you receive information or whenever you read a news, make sure that you know the source. Is it a valid source? And make sure you with other website or other source. Do they also talk about the same thing? Or do other media also talk about this? So to make sure that you verify the source, you verify the credibility of the source and the content of the information before you share it. That way, we can actually filter information for ourselves and also to avoid sharing fake news to other people. Because that's also an important part that I'd like to address responding to Lely. But anyway, distrust can always happen. It is not only distrust between government and also the people, but you and your best friend, sometimes you can also, experience this kind of distrust, right? But it's important to talk about that. And if there's something, some concern that you want to raise, then talk about it, discuss it, try to express your opinion in an open dialogue and try to express your recommendation or your suggestion. That's from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Mia. Now I'm gonna go over to the other participant who already raised their hand. Okay, let's go with Kazi Tazwar Islam. Please open your mic. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so hello, Miss Mia. It's a pleasure to meet you. So my question was actually, what do you think? Like, will there be some vast changes in the post-pandemic world for the education sector for students all over the world? Because the situation has changed a lot. Even from 1.5 year back, we were in the classroom with our teachers and students in it, but now we are seeing them virtually all the time, almost. Like, for example, in our country, Bangladesh, and the schools have been closed since more than 1.5 year. So the students are really bored seeing the teachers in the virtually world. So my question was that, so what do you think in the post-pandemic world, will there be a vast change in the education sector? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Ms. Mia, you may answer the question.
Hi, Kazi. Can I call you Kazi?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your question. That's very interesting. And thank you for sharing the situation in Bangladesh as well to all of us. We experienced that as that's interesting. And then I can give my perspective and opinion based on my personal experience because I'm also working in education sector. I'm a lecturer, so I know how does it feel to be, to face difficulties with the online class, and for more than a year you have to see your lecturer or your teacher virtually, and you get bored maybe, or find other challenges and also difficulties, but that's okay. And your question is, will there be any significant changes post-pandemic world with our education system? In my opinion, that because the pandemic kind of forced us to use all this digital technology, to incorporate all of this digital technology into our education system right now, especially when you see right now a teacher like senior teacher or senior lecturer, they don't really use a laptop every day like all of us, but right now they have to learn, they have to use everything. They have taught students for, I don't know, 30 years maybe in classroom, and right now they have to use the laptop, they have to learn something new. So obviously I think that these changes incorporating digital technology into education system will continue even in post-pandemic world. Maybe later when it's safe for everyone to open the school and have a face-to-face interaction in person, in class, in our actual classroom, we will see each other and we will have this in face interaction, in person interaction where we meet each other. But I'm sure we will still use the digital technology. For instance, for me later in post-pandemic world, I have a plan that I'm going to the classroom and I will see my students and I will divide them into groups and we will have discussion. But later, for any kind of assignment, they don't have to write down everything with their hand and also submit it to me, but they can use the technology. They can make video, they can explore everything, and they can submit it still in, for instance, Google Classroom. So combining the in-person interaction with digital technology, and that's gonna really help the education process, I think. Because in my personal opinion, I do agree that we cannot replace human interaction, like in-person interaction. I need to see their expression. I need to listen to their questions. I need to hear their concern. And I need them to interact with one another. Because education is not only about me delivering something, I deliver something to you, some material, and then you listen, but it's also about how you can interact with your friends. You can discuss the material. You can debate the lecture. You can give different point of view. You can give suggestion and everything. So in-person experience, in-person interaction, discussion with your friends, it's something that you cannot simply change, right? It's not easy to have a group presentation, virtual group presentation, and then I give you time to discuss and you discuss on your WhatsApp or in your chat box without actually talking to one another. It's challenging, I know. Therefore, regarding your question, my answer is in post-pandemic world, we are going to still incorporate digital technology right now, like what we are using right now, into the education system, but it is not going to replace the in-person interaction, human interaction, because that's absolutely necessary to learn about the soft skill, to learn how to interact with your friends, to learn to discuss something. That's from my perspective. Thanks for your question.
Okay, thank you. Now, since we only have a couple minutes left, I'm going to pick the last question given by Farsha Zahrayanti. Please, you may open your mic.
Thank you very much. Hi, Ms. Mia. Thank you for the presentation. It was very insightful. I would like to ask that worldwide, I think that some countries are healing and some are going back to lockdowns. And I want to know from your perspective this far, what do you think differentiates those types of countries? I mean, maybe from the government side, maybe from the citizen side, what differentiates those who are healing and those who are going back to lockdowns? And what can we do in this condition to make the most of it, according to you? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Um,
Ms. Mia, you may answer the question.
Thank you, Farsha. Well, if we are going to talk from the scientific point of view in terms of the variant of the virus, I cannot tell you my perspective because I'm not qualified on that. So I cannot explain about the development of each variant of the virus and why are they spreading in one place and then spreading in another place, because I don't have competency in talking about that from like a health point of view. I don't have the competency, and all the information I get is from the sources, government sources, so I don't know about that. But what I can say is that in my personal experience, believe in health protocols in the context that they want to follow the health protocols, such as washing their hands properly or keeping their distance, that actually will give significant impact. Because previously I experienced it that here in Bali, people follow the regulation that we cannot really have more than 20 people, for instance, for like religious. And then after a while, people kind of give excuse. And then from 20 people maximum to 30 people maximum to 40 to 50, and then we can see more cases, more positive cases. But right now, the government is trying their best to limit the number of people, to limit the crowd, obviously to make people have this kind of a distance and follow the health protocol. So what I can say here is that follow the health protocol, whatever it is proven by science, and if it's proven to actually help us to flatten the curve, just do it. Because otherwise we don't really have other solution, right? If we keep on debating the health protocol over and over, then when is this gonna end? So I think from my perspective is that I'm going to follow the health protocol. I'm going to suggest people to, wash their hands, to stay healthy, to drink more water, to maintain the distance with other people in order for us to contribute something to end this pandemic soon and hopefully to go to the post-pandemic world soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Mia. Since we have still a lot of questions, do you think we can still fit one more?
I'm very sorry because I have other agenda after this.
Okay. All right.
So if you guys still have a lot of questions, and I see lots of hands here and people who are willing to ask questions, you guys can send me an email. And I do hope we can stay in touch, as I mentioned previously, and we can have further discussion through email.
Okay, then. Thank you so much, Miss Mia. It was a very insightful presentation indeed. Now, everyone, I think it is time for us to move on to our next agenda. May I once again welcome Miss Anne Rizky, our project leader, to give a short brief on the system and procedure of the next few days. Once again, you may leave your question on the chat box or use the hand raise feature later on. With that being said, you may have the floor, Miss Anne.
Thank you so much, Ms. Emira. And thank you so much for Ms. Mia for the great presentation. She's been a really, really nice speakers today at our event. So hello, everyone. I will take over from here and I will explain the schedule of what delegates will do for the next 2 days in their chosen panel themes of the festival. So there are 6 panel themes here. First is education, youth empowerment, digital economy, tourism culture, technology, and mental health. As we know that this festival is an international student festival that will take place for the next 3 days, starting from 15 to 18 July 2021. And therefore, after you see the entire rundown sent via personal email and also in the Telegram group, it is hoped that the delegates who attend and participate in the festival can adjust their own time in their respective countries and prepare everything carefully. Don't forget to arrive on time based on the rundown that has been determined. We will not tolerate delays up to 30 minutes more than the predetermined schedule. The delegates who have also been informed about what panel theme you have received in email, and in the past 1 or 2 days before, you have been discussing it just a bit or more about the issue that will be raised in your respective panel themes. On the second day, after you join the Zoom links, we will wait up to 5 minutes for all the delegates to participate and ready for the session. Please change your Zoom name based on the participant role if you see in the PDF file. And don't forget to mute yourself and turn on the camera throughout the festival. You may use the background that has been given, but if you occur some problem with it, it is optional to use it. Remember to change your name on your prospective panel theme. Still on the second day, after you join the links and opening has started, we may expect you to join the breakout rooms through your Zoom apps and to your chosen panel theme. And please be aware that you need to join the breakout room after the MC of the moderator told you to do so. And after you join the breakout room, there will be 2 people from our team who are gonna be your moderator and facilitator. They will guide and provide you in the breakout room session. Any inquiries and questions regarding the discussion themes will be answered by your panel team's moderator. Disclaimer that every panel teams had different system of discussion. On the 3rd day, you will have to log in as you did before and join the breakout room as they start to open. You may have some time to continue and wrap up your discussion before and start to create a conclusion and choose a representative to present your panel team's project. Because on the same day, we will also hear all the panel team's project and the presentation will be evaluated from the juries. On the last day, we will have awarding for many categories, including the best project ideas presentation. I think that will be enough to brief you shortly about our schedule agenda for the next 2 days and 3 days of your time at our festival. And I would like to remind you that every festival day, you will need to fill out attendance form. The link will be given at the end of the scheduled festival. Please fill out the form if you already attend the event of the day. It is essential for us to keep on track with you during the festival. So any inquiries and questions that need to be clear now, you may write down in the chat box column below, and I will answer here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Anne. Now, I think that that was very, very clear, but if anyone has any question, please raise your hand now. Okay, in the participant, I see that Laura Princesa Avelar is raising her hand. Do you have any question, or is this from previous session? Please let me know. Okay, I'm assuming that she has mistaken it, and the raised hand was for the previous session. Now I'm gonna give about 1 minute for everyone else to perhaps raise their hand or type on the chat box. Oh yeah, and before I forget, as we are heading towards the end of the show, if you open the chat box, you may find a link by BISF 2021_Wulandari. Please open that link and fill in the registration form for attendance. This will be used for certification later on. Maybe we should fill the registration first as we wait for questions to arrive.
Okay, I think Ms. Amira will answer some of the questions in the chat box.
Right, okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay, first we have a question from Kazita Zuar Islam from Education Panel. He asks, will the breakout session consist of only group member of each panel team? Yes, the breakout system will be your group of your panel team. So please remember, it is important that you need to join the breakout room through your own. If you are forgetting to join your breakout room, we may have to invite you forced to join it. And this is very important to change your name based on the participant roles, because we will see what panel teams that you've been chosen, and we will invite you to the breakout session. But before that, we may expect you to join it by your own in your Zoom apps. There will be, if you see in the below of the Zoom, you will have the 3 more column session. And if we already open the breakout room session, you may join it by yourself. Okay, I will move on to the next question. It's about the registration or attendance form. This is from Priya Darsini. Hi, on the attendance, it say upload activity. What is that in the reference to? I think it's the activity that you need to upload. It's your screenshot. So you attend this festival right now, you screenshot your activities, or maybe you it's your screenshot file. So it say that it's just some kind of a proof that you really attend the festival. Remember that we need keep on track on you. We need to keep on track on you in this festival. Okay, I will answer the other question. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time because I have to see what any particular question. Okay, it's from Endang. Hello, I wanna know one thing. Let me know about the dress code during the event. There is no such a thing as a dress code, but we expect you to dress properly. So, well, we're not gonna tolerate if you're not wearing a dress or anything, but you just need to wear dress properly and nice to look at. Okay. Ms. Amira, do you have another question that I will have to explain?
Hold on, let me just look for some. Oh, this is not a question, but someone said that they cannot open the attendance link. So committee, do you mind fixing that? All right. There are some people in the in the chat box that asks which activity do you mean, and they don't understand the activity. Could you please expand a little bit more about what the activity that you are referring to? Thank you, Miss.
If you open the rundown file from your previous email on the Telegram group, you may ask your moderator or facilitator for the rundown. The activity will be discussion. So you may have to join the breakout room of your panel team, and you will discuss with them, with your people from your panel teams. But the discussion theme will be different from the panel team. So I don't have anything to explain for what discussion theme will be. It will be explained by the moderator and facilitator of your panel teams. So you will need to wait for the next day to know what kind of discussion will be held. But all the discussion themes will be very effective and also had the same result.
There is a really interesting question that I think needs to be addressed from Ali. He said, tomorrow for Muslim men, there will be a Friday prayer. May I come to the Zoom meeting unpunctually? Thanks a bunch.
Thank you. Well, we tolerate any the religion prayer, but this is the disclaimer that maybe we cannot let in the participant to join if it's up to 45 or to 1 hour delays. But if you have some religion attendance, or you need to praying at the time of the festival, maybe we will give some time up to 5 to 10 minutes to do your prayers.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Anne. It seems that we have reached the time limit for your session. And well, it appears that we have reached the end of the show. I would like to express my absolute gratitude for Miss Mia for taking her time to share some insight in this opening event, as well as Miss Anne and Mr. Fauzi for a contribution in the opening ceremony. And moreover, I would like to thank everyone who has registered and attended BISF. I hope this event will be an opportunity for everyone to have fun and gain new knowledge, as well as make new connections. Another reminder for everyone to please fill out the attendance form, which you can find in the chat box. Now, before we close the meeting, may I ask everyone to open your camera for a short photo session? Let's see. Has everyone opened their camera? Okay. IT, do you taking the honor? Okay, IT.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Please
Ready?
count.
Okay. One. Are you ready? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Cheers. Okay, enough, Miss Emira.
Okay, thank you so much, IT. All right, now, guys, we will see you tomorrow and the next 2 days for Indonesia Youth Foundation biggest event of the year. You may now leave the meeting room, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for attending.
Bye.
Mention the time for yesterday.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, tomorrow.
Presentation.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Very much. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone.
you very much.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz.
Terima kasih.
Mention the time.
Thank you guys.
Mention the time for
Bye.
yesterday.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
So
Bye.
much.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
attending. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Samuel.
It's exactly 9:27 here in Accra. So goodbye.
Goodbye, Samuel.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Sophie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You said bye, Sophie.
Safe. Thank you. See you soon tomorrow.
Terima kasih.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Sama-sama. Thank you.
Syukran ala kulli ihtimam minkum.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone, you guys may leave the room now, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Kamsahamnida.
Syukur Ederim.
Obrigada.
Spasiba.
Danke. Masul.
Atur nuhun.
Merci. Merci
Atur nuhun.
beaucoup.
Suksema. Merci beaucoup. Obrigada.
Lini Kici.
Thank you.
Everyone, you may leave the room.
We will wait for about 2 to 3 more minutes, and we are going to put everyone in the waiting room. Thank you so much, everyone. We may leave the room.
Okay. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Zina.
You're welcome, Noviar.
I don't say thank you with Malik, actually.
I'm just say welcome. Because I'm humble, friendly to everyone.
Probably. Well, actually, we are conversing, but anyone can hear us. Okay.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ra.
Namaste.
Itu dong yang co-host bantuin mending ke put in waiting room aja.
Iya, nih lagi-lagi.
Farida, aku masukin waiting room. Aku kepencet.
Batu ya. Udah kan udah semua belum? Belum. Udah ya?
Ini nih ada satu lagi.
Oh ya.
Jangan di-edit lagi. Siapa yang edit lagi?
Kayaknya Malik kepencet deh sama gue.
Kamu jangan edit orang.
Itu
enggak, Malik bukan host, Bambang, bukan co-host. Malik tersalahkan.
Gue yang disalahin anjir.
Jangan di-admit lagi, anjir.
Udah.
Senang sih kalau Malik salahin sih, padahal dia bukan co-host.
Ini cara ngantiin live-nya gimana BTW? Stop live stream-nya. Berarti ini pas udah di stop berarti langsung itu kan, langsung apa namanya? Langsung ke post.
Simpan gitu maksudnya.
Iya. Itu kan kita belum nge-stop, jadi
ini juga bakalan ke-post.
Oke, stop live stream
Iya,
ya.
sama kayak yang ya kayak Zoom juga nanti dia pasti